So, guys, the MK party is now coming after President Ramaphosa. And of course, they are coming with the matter of Phala Phala. I mean, with everything that is happening right now, with the pressure that Ramaphosa is facing to deal with the revelations made by General Mkhwanazi, the MK party says that the nation deserves answers on the Phala Phala scandal. And I think that it's quite wise of the MK party to come with this Phala Phala scandal right now. Because again, I think they are trying to pressure Ramaphosa and his friend, his Minister of Police, Senzo Mkhunu, to see who is going to throw who under the bus first. Because, guys, earlier this year, the Minister of Police said that the IPID conducted an investigation into this huge scandal of Phala Phala that involves the president. But we are not going to release those findings. We are going to seal these findings and we are going to mark them as top secret. And the people were furious. South Africans were furious to say, how is it possible that IPID can actually conduct an investigation into the president? And we, as the people of this country, as people who actually voted for Ramaphosa to be the president of this country, how is it possible that we are not allowed to read the findings of Phala Phala? But Senzo Mkhunu just sat there in that kitchen and endured the heat. And right now, he is the one that is facing the heat. And I think he needs the president to scratch his back, just like he scratched his back then. I think Senzo Mkhunu desperately needs the president because right now, Ramaphosa is facing a lot of pressure to actually do something about the Minister of Police, to force him to step aside or something like that. But I don't think an old comrade like Senzo Mkhunu would like to be held accountable. I'm like, these people come from the ANC. They know no accountability in the African National Congress. And if Ramaphosa is going to be the one to start to force people to take accountability for their wrongdoings, I don't think it is going to end well for the president. So the president is going to do what he do to try to sweep this under the rug. This is the best thing that Ramaphosa can do, to say that, guys, I understand that General Mkhwanazi came with a lot, but we are going to set up a commission of inquiry into this matter. We are going to set a commission of inquiry into these matters. And before you even know it, South Africans would have forgot about this thing that is happening right now. So the MK party released a statement saying that it is time to break the silence. The nation deserves answers on the Phala Phala scandal. The statement continues to say that Umkhonto we Party calls on all South Africans, the media, civil society and parliament to confront the calculated silence surrounding the Phala Phala scandal. It has now been more than 7 months since the government promised regular updates on this matter. Instead of clarity, we are met with a deliberate information blackout on a scandal that implicates a sitting president of the republic. This is no longer just a legal matter. It has become a political cover-up of national proportions designed to shield the most powerful while undermining the public accountability. As the MK party, we refuse to remain silent. The people of South Africa deserves the truth. The facts are deeply troubling. The Independent Police Investigative Directorate, IPID, completed its investigations into the role of South African Police Service in the Phala Phala scandal cover-up in 2023 in October. Yet, in March 2025, Police Minister Senzo Mkhunu confirmed that the report is classified as top secret. This decision has kept the report away from the public, parliament, and the media. What exactly is being hidden? You remember, guys, I think it was in March. When we actually did this story about Senzo Mkhunu basically sealing the findings into Phala Phala. So you remember this article, guys? You remember this article that came? Yeah, it was in March. That came in March. I remember we also did an update on this one. So let me just refresh your memory. So this article says that Minister of Police Senzo Mkhunu has said that the Independent Police Investigative Directorate report on the controversial Phala Phala farm has been classified as top secret. So I guess the question remains, what is it exactly are they hiding? Because if the president is innocent on this matter of Phala Phala, why did he push for this report to be classified as top secret? Why did he push for this report to be sealed? Because I cannot sit here and actually believe that Ramaphosa had nothing to do with the decision that Senzo Mkhunu has taken. I believe that Ramaphosa is in the mix. This was revealed in a response to a parliamentary Q&A session where questions about the reports were taken up, were asked about were asked by the African Transformation Movement leader Vuyolete Zungula. The Phala Phala saga began in June 2022 when criminal charges were laid against President Ramaphosa and the members of his security detail. Former Director General at the State Security Agency, Arthur Fraser, alleged that Ramaphosa and his team had covered up a February 2020 burglary at his farm where large sums of foreign currency allegedly concealed in furniture were stolen. The money, reportedly around $580,000, was said to be a payment from the Sudanese business Hazim Mustafa for 20 buffaloes. And apparently these 20 buffaloes were never collected. Can you just imagine, man, someone leaving $580,000 to buy buffaloes and not even come and collect those buffaloes? In his parliamentary Q&A, Zungula asked Mkhunu when the IPID report would be released, given the repeated calls for the transparency regarding the saga and its publication. Mkhunu responded that the investigation had been completed and that IPID had referred its recommendation report to the South African Police Service on the 3rd of October 2023. Mkhunu added that the IPID was satisfied with South African Police Service's response, but the report was classified as a top secret under the paragraph 3.4.4 of the Minimum Information Security Standards, meaning it cannot be disclosed unless formally declassified. So they said that the IPID was satisfied with the response from the South African Police Service because they are also accused in this cover-up. But still, they are saying that, okay, this report will be top secret, will be classified as top secret. So if the IPID was satisfied with the response from the South African Police Service, why are you guys making this report classified? Still makes no sense. It makes no sense at all. Zungula further questioned why the report had not been released despite 9 formal requests from his office and 11 complaints. Mkhunu replied that it is impermissible to make available classified report for the purpose that ATM has requested for. Quote, in essence, there is no delay in making the report available, but it is not allowed to make it available, said the police minister. Zungula then asked Mkhunu would ensure the immediate release of the top secret IPID report, arguing that there seemed to be a deliberate attempt to suppress it. So Zungula asked if Mkhunu would ensure the immediate release of the top secret IPID report, arguing that there seems to be a deliberate attempt to suppress it. However, the police minister dismissed this and said that while the IPID report to the minister may not interfere with its operations. But clearly you are interfering with the operations. Clearly, quote, to suggest that the minister should ensure that IPID releases an investigation report is similar to suggesting that the minister must interfere with IPID operations. As indicated above, IPID has classified the report as a top secret, and to suggest that the report is suppressed is disingenuous, the police minister says. So, Senzo Mkhunu says that, no, we are sealing this report. We are not going to make this report public to you guys. We are not going to make it public to the parliament. We are not going to make it public to the media. But then, to say that this report is suppressed is disingenuous. This is what he says. They are literally suppressing the report and saying that if you dare say that we are suppressing this report, you are being disingenuous. While this report remained classified, other investigations into Phala Phala matter have been made public. In August 2023, the South African Reserve Bank concluded that no exchange control laws had been violated in the alleged transaction between Phala Phala and Hazim Mustafa. The SRB investigation focused on whether the sale of buffalo to Mustafa constituted a breach of exchange control regulations. The central bank determined that there was no contravention because the transaction had never been perfected. They say that the transaction had never been perfected. But the president says that there was a transaction. But the South African Revenue Services, they say that the transaction had never been perfected. In other words, since the buffalo were never delivered, the deal did not meet the necessary conditions to require a declaration under exchange control laws. Quote, thus, The South African Revenue Service cannot conclude that there was any contravention of the exchange control regulations by Ntaba Union Estates CC, or for that matter by the president, the bank stated in its report. Despite the South African Reserve Bank findings, critics remain skeptical, arguing that the unresolved questions surrounding the source of the money and its storage in furniture continues to cast a shadow over the presidency. Transparency advocates and opposition parties have insisted that the public deserves the full findings of all investigations, particularly the IPID report, which deals directly with the law enforcement handling of this case. So this was a scandal that we were dealing with in March. This is a scandal that we were dealing with in March, and it looks like the president may again have to deal with this thing again. So the MK party says that in October 2024, the National Prosecuting Authority, the NPA, through its Limpopo Director of Public Prosecutions, stated that there was no reasonable prospect of a successful prosecution, but the public was never shown the evidence. No public hearings were held. The matter was simply closed without explanation. This lack of transparency is an insult to our constitutional democracy. Meanwhile, the robbery trial involving the theft of the large amounts of undeclared foreign currency from the president's farm had been pushed back to September 2025. The accused will appear, but President Ramaphosa will not be called to testify. The trial has been designed to isolate him from the scrutiny. This is a clear attempt to protect the politically connected from accountability. Government has committed to keeping the nation informed through quarterly updates. That commitment had been abandoned. It has now been over 7 months since, without single update, a single answer, or a single ounce of respect for the public's right to know. The Phala Phala scandal represents everything the MK party is fighting against. The Phala Phala scandal represents everything the MK party is fighting against: corruption in high office, manipulation of state institutions, protection of elites, and the suppression of the truth. While millions of South Africans are drowning in poverty, unemployment, and crime, those in power bend the law to protect themselves. So the MK party says that we are not for the crime. We are not for the crime. We hate crime. We hate crime. We know that the former Secretary General of the MK party, Floyd Shivambu, came out and accused us of stealing 7 million rands from the coffers of the party every month. But this is not us. This is not us. And we are against the criminality. We are against the criminality, the irony. The MK party will not stand by and watch this scandal be buried. We are taking action. We are demanding the immediate declassification and public release of the IPID report. We are exposing the NPA's silence and the selective application of justice. We are questioning the deliberate delays in the robbery trial and the shielding of the President Ramaphosa from legal accountability. We will be using all platforms to apply consistent public pressure and ask, where is the IPID report? Why are there no prosecutions? Why is Ramaphosa being protected? This is a matter for bold leadership. South Africans must never allow corruption to be normalized through silence. The MK party is not afraid to challenge power with trust, with the truth. We will raise the voice of the people, and we will not stop until the justice is done. So this is the spokesperson of the MK party in Tamlondlela. Spokesperson of the MK party in Tamlondlela, and they are applying the pressure on the matter of Phala Phala. And I think it would be advisable for all the political parties that want Ramaphosa to be out as the president of this country, that are sick and tired of Ramaphosa, to now come and apply the pressure, because right now Ramaphosa, there are chances that he might throw Senzo Mkhwanazi under the bus. There are chances that he might throw Senzo Mkhwanazi under the bus. And we are hoping that if he does throw Senzo Mkhwanazi under the bus, Senzo Mkhwanazi comes out and says that before my time comes, I am releasing this report. I'm releasing this report so that we can actually get to know what is happening. So I heard that President Ramaphosa is in the country. Welcome back, President. The national dialogue has commenced. Guys, what do you think? Please tell me what you think in the comment section. Don't forget to hit that like button and the most important part, subscribe. My name is Thomas Mabaso. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.